Riding cars. Riding cars. I went to the pool this morning and I had a Uconnect update thing happen as I turned off the car. It said update. I said update. So it updated. Now all my widgets are gone. Car won't connect to the phone. Like I I got to talk about technology in cars. I've been holding back on this for a while. And it's not just technology in cars, it's technology on your phone, things like that. None of this is for us. None of this is for our benefit. Like this Uconnect update probably has nothing to do with making the car better. Hopefully it fixes a little issues, but along with that, what usually it happens is they piggyback something big. They slip something in the back door, which is usually detrimental to you and me, or the owner of the car. Um, if you don't know this, your car spies on you. Okay, it sells your data. Sorry, it collects all your data, sends it to HQ. HQ sells your data, right? Everything, everything about your car, or that you do in your car, or that's going on around your car. The more technology it has, the more information it gathers, and a lot of that can be used against you. Like I know in the states, insurance companies are using car data against people that they're going to be insuring, saying, "Oh, you have so many heartbreaking events. You've had X amount of, you know, high speed events. You've had X amount of, you know, auto braking. The car auto brakes, right? So auto braking. So all of this has nothing to do with your driving ability, right? Has nothing to do with your driving record. You could have a clean record. You could be a perfectly good driver, but and the car that's keeping you safe, from not hitting things, is reporting you to these insurance companies, and these insurance companies are in turn flipping that, saying, okay, well, no, we have to raise your rates because you've had these many things happen to you in your car. You know, because I have auto braking when backing up, and if the assist, senses somebody, it'll stop, right? Because if you don't see someone, right, the car was designed to keep, you know, people safe around you, keep you safe in the car, sort of thing, right? And now instead of it reporting you as a safe driver, with no accidents, things like that, it's being turned around by insurance companies to go, no, we have to raise your rates. We have to raise your rates. We have to, even though you've never had an accident, even though you don't speed, never have a speeding ticket, things like that. Now, that would be fine. I would let that go. I would honestly let that go if I was getting paid for it or reimbursed for it in some way. You know, all this data, I, you basically consent to giving it away for free when you're buying the car. It's in that terms and conditions, whatever you want to call it, the contract that you says it has this technology. The technology can be gathered and can be sold and all of that. Now, I honestly say, I used to have trouble with buying a used car or buying a new car, even a new car. We had people come into the dealership when I was selling cars to do this, but buying, and they got your sticker or your the license plate with the company's um, logo or phone numbers on it, right? Like you're driving around advertising the company for free, basically, right? You've just shelled out a ton of money on this car. Maybe didn't get the best deal in the world, or maybe no deal at all off on the car when you bought it. You just went in and bought it, and then they want you to advertise for them for free with that little sticker on the trunk or the license plate holder, right? I had both, and I removed them both. You know, and I've heard the arguments for that. Going, if you want me to advertise for you, pay me for it. You pay for advertising. I'm advertising, so pay me for it. Now it's data collection, and they're selling your most private stuff. Like Nissan will even tell you about sexual habits, like you know, if you're having sex in the car, how many times they send that data off. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, I, 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 I think this is a violation of like human rights, to be honest with you. But nobody's made the argument. Everybody just accepts, oh, hey, I get all this stuff with my phone. It's really cool. It's really convenient. It's really fun. And I'm hypnotized by the screen. So I don't care. It's a smartphone means it's smart, right? Well, that's not what the acronym means. The acronym means, it's data collecting. It's collecting everything you have and it's sending it off somewhere for it to be used. And they'll like to say, it's used for you, right? But really what it is to get you to buy more stuff, spend more money, to feed any kind of addictive behavior you might have, right? And that's, and if it was used to help me in some way to become a better human being or to, advance human civilization to the next level, I could stomach it, but it's not. It's being used by companies to, feed off of you, to figure out how to get another dollar out of you, to figure out how to, it's not to help you make your life better. It's not, right? And if that's the case, then, instead of paying the monthly subscription to have all the things that I'm connected to, through the Dodge app in this case, but you get places like BMW where, if you want heated seats, you got to pay a subscription. If you're going to be sending off my data, collecting my data and sending it off, give me all that stuff for free on a monthly payment, right? And when I stop wanting you to collect my data, shut off the services. It's pretty cut and dry, pretty simple, but it will never happen. I gotta find a place to park here. It's busy. It's never this busy. What's going on? Hump day. Must be Wednesday. Yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. Like I am fully against it. Saying it's okay for companies to do this. Whether or not, like you're being held at, well, you're not being held at gunpoint. I'm not going to say that. But in order for you to buy a car, you have to say yes to those agreements. And if you say no or you cross that thing out on there, you cannot buy the car. That's being strong armed. And I think, as a business practice, I'm sure there's laws around that where you can't strong arm people into things like that, at least in a fair and democratic society. But if you still think you're living in a fair and democratic society, you got to have your head washed. Because if things like this are being allowed en masse with no checks, nobody's giving concern, the government is not looking out for you, basically letting it happen. Yeah. Little bit of a, I'm not going to say the C word, but I do not think it is right. I mean, we're paying out the teeth for these brand new cars now, like more than people can afford. Actually, people have stopped buying new cars. That's how bad it's gotten. That's how expensive they are. And on top of that, they want to strip you of your, your privacy as well. It's That's one thing I don't like about new cars. Yeah, the technology's finicky, but a lot of the technology does make the cars better and have made them better. I'll say that. I have been saved from so many accidents because of all the extra dingy lights and auto things that happen. Because I was always in some sort of car accident. I would always in my life, little hits, little dings, little things here and there. Always, 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 always. I'm a lot better now that I'm older, but it's also, you know, it's the cars. You know, it's the cars and the safety features and things like that. Is that a good trade-off for selling all my data? I don't think it is. I'm paying for that. I'm paying for that out of pocket, straight up front. You're going to put that in the car, you're going to put a price on it. I'm paying for it. So, in theory, how this is laid out, you are paying your car manufacturer to collect data on you to sell it as a profit. It's a pretty good business model. Pretty good business model. Ethical? You decide. Tell me in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.